Hello everybody, this is Demon Phoenix continuing with my Deathmarch Piercing Cold playthrough. And I've just finished off the mission with the Crones, Ladies of the Wood. And now I need to be going and speaking to Tamara and finishing off the... let's have a look. Can you loot this? Yes, you can. Why is there money in logs? Anyway, we need to be going to Oxenfurt and speaking to Tamara so that we can continue with the Baron's quests. And then we haven't much left to do. We've got the Return to Crookback Bog quest with the Baron himself. So we'll have to be doing that. And then after we've done that, taking on the Fiend and things like that, which is quite fun. How many times can you say that in a sentence? I don't know. Probably about 6 or 7 there. But that is by the by. We're going to do the Crookback Bog mission, and then we're going to be continuing with the Novigrad quests and things like that. Might do a couple of the Witcher contracts as well, because even though this is going to be mainly a main story build, with it being combat focused and Aard sweep focused, I do like doing the actual contracts as well. So not going to pick up all of these side quests, but probably a good idea for me to pick up some of the Witcher contracts just for a bit of combat and a bit of variety. So the plan is to go and speak to Tamara first, and then we'll go from there. And she is just on the... Why have I got so much toxicity? That's odd. Must be from just having used the potions earlier. So anyway, we're just going to speak to Tamara here. I think I've played everybody here already. Definitely played Stepan. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I played everybody when I came through this way earlier in the game. Gwent-wise, I'm talking about, obviously. Whoa, weird bit of clipping there. We played this guy. I know this guy's no good, but if I played this guy, I probably played the others as well. I can't remember which playthrough is which because I always play everybody in Gwent all the time, but we'll see. So yeah, this is a New Game Plus low-level Piercing Cold build. Large amount of alchemy, decent amount of signed abilities just to keep the sign intensity up. But the main thing... Have I actually played this guy? The main thing is that I had made the Grandmaster Griffin armor, which I am now using now that I've reached level 40. So I made that armor in anticipation of coming through this way. So Northern Realms don't need that really. I've got Villain Tretameth there, so that's not bad. As you can see, this guy's got a terrible deck. Couldn't see if the actual writing was greyed out or anything, so I'm not 100% sure if this guy even... if this guy is somebody I've not played before, but we'll just see. So he's got Biting Frost, which is actually perfect, because if you've watched the earlier episodes, you'll already know, but I have deliberately got Relentless so that I can use it through the game, which normally you don't get to do. I could actually scorch all 3 of these and then win on a tie, but it doesn't really matter because I've got medic, so I'll just play that instead. Okay, so now I'll either just make him waste all of his cards or just beat them anyway. Since I don't have a decoy, I'm just going to play Dandelion. This is what I love about Dandelion. You can actually play it and then be able to medic things back afterwards. So I've got a total of 3 medics. I'll need one of those for playing that card back, and then Dandelion and Villain Tretameth as well, dependent on what else I get. So we'll just make them waste a load of there. He should have saved that medic and then he would have been able to play it back, but never mind. Silly him. And then we'll be able to see what happens. Right, so now I have these, obviously. So I can just play that spy again. I've got obviously quite a good chance of getting another spy or a decoy or something else. And so instead I can just play all these cards and replay everything I've got in my graveyard as well. Well, that's rude. And that's not going to do him much good really, seeing as how he's got the impenetrable fog himself. Oh dear. And obviously easy win, just pile up on these. And obviously you get the idea, just play everything else. Okay. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I have played these 3 guys, but we will see. Yep, sorted. Right. That's everything done there. I'll just speak to you tomorrow. So yeah, I thought I'd probably play those guys, but I'll be playing a bit of Gwent anyway, so. Need to get the Geralt card at some point as well. I'm doing the Novigrad quests. So we'll carry on with those as well. Skip, 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 skip. Again, very interesting stuff, but like, you know, only dialogue for the first time and all that kind of thing. Really just want to skip through all this stuff. And skip through this. Darn, I've just realised if I do the Baron's quest, that means I'm going to have to go and do the Ciri quest. Alright, so I've got all this stuff. Eternal Fire and all that stuff. Yeah, yeah, we get it. I mean, obviously, this bit doesn't really... The thing that doesn't really make sense about this is, like, obviously you have to do all these quests because, you know, they say about, why is that toxicity not dropping? That's really weird. You know, if I could have got that toxicity to permanently stay there, that would have been ace. I would have just messed around with that, but... How strange. No point really demonstrating a playthrough where something's glitched like that anyway, because... Well, what's the point really? If it can't be replicated or anything like that, there's no real need. Okay, so... Now we've got to speak to the Baron. Yeah, so after I give him this piece of information and everything else, I'll have to do the quest with Ciri where I have to win the race and then beat the Basilisk. That bit's so irritating, so not looking forward to that. At least once I've done that, I'm free to go back to the bog, beat everybody there, maybe do a couple of the contracts. In fact, I might just go and do the Shrieker contract just to break things up while I'm here. In fact, we'll definitely do that. I think I spoke to Simcoe already, maybe? Hope I did. Merry Widow, Shrieker... Ah, oh, darn. Not spoke to him yet. Ah, that's alright. I'll do that on the way back or something.
Greetings.
Greetings. Alright, so that's that. I'm level 43 and this is a level 39 contract, so I won't get a ton of experience for it and everything. I think I'll do every contract apart from Woodland Beast because that one's crap. Alright. Calm down. Okay, so that's that bit sorted. I'll come back and do that later. Okay. Where's Roach? Hanging around outside somewhere. I hate when you can't summon Roach. Oh, now she appears. Thanks for that. Silly Roach. Anyway, got this bit to do. Speak to the Baron. Then we'll carry on. So yeah, if you haven't watched the previous episodes, I would hopefully think that you'd enjoy them if you did go and watch them. But this is a low-level playthrough, so I have deliberately started New Game Plus at a low level as possible. So in order to start New Game Plus, the only prerequisite is that you have completed the game already. And so I finished my No Armor Deathmatch playthrough at as low a level as possible. So just towards the end of that playthrough, I started just doing the main quest and nothing else. And when I'd completed that, which was a lot of fun, you can check out that on my YouTube channel as well. But after I'd done that one, basically what I did was I started at New Game Plus. I'd prepared a few things as much as possible I could without actually leveling up anymore. So I was level 31, just level 31 after finishing the Deathmatch playthrough with no armor. And I was able to then go and forge my Grandmaster Griffin set in anticipation of using it, and the Superior Woven set and swords, just to actually start this quest. To actually start the playthrough with the Superior Woven gear, and then later on we were able to switch to the Griffin gear when Grandmaster Griffin set when I reached level 40 in New Game Plus. So actually 9 levels into New Game Plus. So that's interesting, and the reason I've done that is because I wanted to use the Piercing Cold mutation, which again I'd unlocked really early in my No Armor playthrough, and I wanted to use that mutation with a lower level New Game Plus playthrough. And the reason that that is such an important concept is because when you normally play New Game Plus and you start at level 50 something, the enemies have really high sign resistance, and it just gets higher through New Game Plus. So you can still burn things with Igni if you have really high sign intensity, but you can't knock things down with Aard. Erden stops slowing everything down. Axie doesn't affect things at all for any length of time. And Quen remains pretty much the same because Quen's great. But Igni does no direct damage either. It just burns things. So all you've really got to use signs for is Quen and the direct damage from Igni. And that means that if you use Piercing Cold, it will have the useful freeze effect. Because Piercing Cold can freeze enemies, so it does have the useful slowdown and freeze effects of that. But the main draw of Piercing Cold is that if it's powerful enough, it can do damage to enemies directly, and also it can instantly kill knockdown enemies. So that's humans, drowners, water hags, all those type of enemies, all those type of humanoid enemies can be knocked down. And then they can be killed instantly. Foglets too. They can be killed instantly. They have a 25% chance that Piercing Cold kills them outright. But if Aard isn't knocking things over because their sign resistance is so high, then you lose that perk of Piercing Cold. So it becomes a lot more, just a little bit of utility, but not much use apart from that. And it loses a lot of its power. So the point of this playthrough is to play at a lower level and starting at level 31, so that it's before the sign resistance gets really high, and I'll only be level 60 something by the end of the whole playthrough. And then I'll be able to have made use of Piercing Cold for the vast majority of it. So yeah, tons of fun. So I've got to do all this, and then we're going to get all this, and now we'll have to do the Basilisk bit, which is irritating, but yeah. Alright, so we're just going to skip through all this. I might as well ask him. Soft spot for the Baron, I suppose, but even though he is a bit of a douchebag. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, it's interesting because he's a flawed character and everything else. But so the great thing about the Grandmaster Griffin set is that when you have 3 pieces of it, you can double cast the regular Simes. And so you can cast like Quen and then Aard, or you can cast Aard twice or anything like that, which goes fantastically with this actual build, because it's signs related with Piercing Cold. And it also means that when you have 6 pieces of it, so that's both swords and the gear, the 6 set bonus is that when you cast an Erden Trap, it's bigger. It's 40% larger Erden Trap, and you get 100% sign intensity boost when you stand in it. And you also take 20% less damage and have 5 stamina regeneration extra per second, which is all amazing. So I'm going to be sticking with this for the vast majority, even though the swords could end up doing a lot more damage with other swords. The bonuses for it being a signs build are just far outweighed by having that full set, so I'll be using that most of the time. Oh, this fight with Ciri is so irritating, because as you can see, the Basilisk can poison you, and then your health sometimes doesn't start going back up like it's not there. So you got to wait for your health to go back up. It's an extremely she doesn't have signs or anything like that, and the thing does a ton of damage to you and inflicts poison or bleeding or whatever else it is. So it's so irritating. So you just got to wait for your health to go back up and not get hit, basically, which is very irritating because she doesn't have the useful armors or signs or any of that stuff. So you just got to keep your distance, let your health regenerate, and if it gets bleeding or poisoning or whatever it is on you, you just got to stand back. And that's why this is such an irritating fight. This is one of my least favourite fights in the game. It's one of the ones where Ciri's just really weak and it's just a pain in the neck. But and also you have no crossbow or signs or anything like that to be able to knock it down, so tend to keep it locked on. Just try and get the basilisk to actually come down and just get some hits when you can. Just keep dodging and try not to get hit by its stupid attack that does bleeding. At least I'm back up to full health now, and it's doing its little poison spit thing. Ciri's combat's really weird because she doesn't even really have to. She doesn't really seem to have a lot of difference between her X and Y strikes. So her fierce and strong don't really make any difference. She's just got strikes. So as well as being kind of annoying to play, she's very boring as well. But anyway, so this is how you deal with this fight most of the time. It's actually going a little better than it would normally. Normally you have to back off for even longer and just recover from bleeding and everything else. Try and get this thing. And then it has to actually come down as well. So they see there, inflicts the bleeding and everything else. And we got to rescue this thing. Rescue this thing. Rescue the Baron, not rescue this thing. Climb up there a little bit, and then Ciri beheads the beast. Then the Baron sends her on to Novigrad, which is great. So we already know she's not in Velen any longer, and that she went from there. So, just got to finish this bit off. Might as well go and do the Shrieker contract, then the Crookback Bog straight away. Console loading times a little bit long, but never mind. Alright. Let's go. Wild Hunter after series, if we didn't know already. The game being called Witcher 3 Wild Hunt kind of gives it away, but yeah. This playthrough is going relatively quickly. So again, I'll have to let me have a think. I'll have to, what's the word? Sorry. Anyway, we'll have to consider what I do after this. So I do at some point want to do a full Viper build. Because I love my Viper hybrid build. It's very similar to the Uber build, but just a bit more hybrid like this one. So I'll have to do that at some point as well. Got my letter of safe conduct now. Next time I do that, I can go do the Shall Not Pass as well. Where are we at? Witcher contracts, that's what I wanted. Woodland Beast, not even a fun contract. Jenny of the Woods is pretty good. Merry Widow is pretty good. I'll have to do those as well. Should have put some stuff in the stash actually while I'm here. I'll just do that now. I'm going to sell all this stuff in Toussaint later. Just going to double back and quickly get rid of that. Because my inventory is pretty full as well, just while I'm here. One of the worst things about playing the console version is the stash is so incredibly slow when you put a load of stuff in it. So please have a little patience just while I put all this stuff away. It does take forever. I'll just take all of this stuff out. I mean, for how painful the stash is and everything else, I find it that I'd much rather just stash everything and then have one big, incredibly slow session where I take everything out of the stash. And then Put it away. So, just going to put all this stuff away like this. And the reason I do this is because you get much better prices for things in Tucson. So it's much better to do it that way, really. And sell these things for more money, especially with the amount that the vendors have in New Game Plus. In fact, bearing in mind that this is New Game Plus, I'll probably not be able to sell all of this stuff in Tucson, really. So I'll have to be a bit mindful of that. But I suppose this stuff's not as high a level as the regular New Game Plus things would be. So not too much of an issue. Okay, so just got to get rid of these. Slightly higher level attack power from the crossbow, but that's not really what I need from the crossbow. So I'll just stick with the death from above one. Gives you a small bonus to other stuff instead. Okay. Wow, this takes a while. Anyway, almost there. What was that I put away? A die? I think that was a die. I might put away that potion of clearance actually if it'll let me do that. I'm not sure if it will. Probably not, because it's a potion. Although it's a bit of a different potion, so it may do. No, it's not going to let me. Keep accidentally using that when I'm trying to use delayed recovery, so. Okay, so now we'll grab Roach, and now we'll just ride all the way down. Now this enemy is a Draconid. I believe it's a basilisk from what I remember. It's definitely one of the Draconids. Yeah, because it's not a wyvern, it's not a forktail. Because the only contract with a forktail that I remember is the dragon one in Firesdale. So yeah, as far as I remember, this should be it. Oh yeah. Then there's this guy. Might as well apply that oil now because I know that it'll be the next thing. Give this guy the ass kicking of a lifetime. Come on then. Okay.
Any last words?
That was cheaty. Give him a smack. Ha! One hit of piercing cold and down he goes. Big softy. We shall see. Yeah, we will see. Only way you can end up not killing that guy if you do all three encounters when you come across him once on the outskirts of Novigrad and once actually in Novigrad. The only way you can actually avoid killing him is if you have delusion and you can talk him out of it at the last stage. So unless you have a higher level delusion, you can't do it. Alright, so just need to keep my potions topped up at some point, which I'll do in a little bit.
Tracks are irregular here. Monster must have started staggering. Was wounded most likely. Muscles caked in blood. Didn't give up without a fight.
Right, so we've got to find these tracks and go this way. We've been here already. Get the enhanced one of the enhanced Griffin diagrams from there. But again, because of the 6 sec bonus, I don't actually want the legendary Griffin armor yet. It won't actually be as good as the Grandmaster Griffin armor that I've already got.
Feathers.
Okay.
No list of suspects. A cockatrice.
So we've got all these cockatrice. Yeah, it was cockatrice. Oh yeah, cockatrice, not a basilisk. Yeah, I said basilisk.
From above.
Yeah, it's a cockatrice. So we've got this thing here. Need a bomb to be able to flush it out.
Not about to leave. Smoke it out though. It's not here.
Okay. So that's got rid of that. Still above 70% for the toxicity there, so we'll just top those up a bit.
Must have fled through another exit. Got a nap before.
So that delayed recovery stays active.
There it is.
Why has Blizzard run out already? It was doing this before, which was weird.
Won't get away this time.
Yeah, that is strange. So Blizzard should be active there, but maybe I didn't use it. I thought I did. Oh, we'll see. Our delayed recovery is working alright anyway, because we've got the rest of the potions active. You can see that Superior Swallow and Black Blood would have ended there, but they're actually still active, which is great. Now against this thing, Piercing Cold isn't as good because it won't do as much direct damage. So you can see it did 1,000 direct damage there. Which is a little bonus, but not like massive. So Igni will be better against this thing. With the high sign intensity that we can have, you can see the amount of burning damage that it takes. That's why Igni always remains very useful all the way through. Right, let's see if we can get Blizzard to actually be effective here. Because if not, I'm going to meditate and then that should sort out the problem. Strange sort of problem though it is. So Blizzard doesn't normally last that long, it only lasts a minute, but it's extremely potent. But with delayed recovery you can keep it active the whole time. Alright, so we're just going to collect that, and then we've got Merry Widow. And everything else like that. Let's have a look. What else do we have? Elusive Thief, Deadly Delights, they're pretty straightforward. White Lady, that one's pretty cool. Still not finished Devil by the Well. Have to nip back to do that at some point. That's alright. Contract, show Shrieker. Woodland Beast we'll ignore because it's not a real contract. It's very boring. Then Merry Widow and Jenny of the Woods. Might do some of those contracts instead. Do just want to double check though if the actual delayed recovery is going to stay working with the Superior Blizzard. So I'll just let that wear out first. So we're just going to ride back, sort out this one, speak to the contract issuer there. Where is the entrance? I always lose track of where the entrance is when I'm not paying attention. So I need to pay more attention. Let's just check that Blizzard does stay active. Yeah, it is. Good. That's fine. Okay.
Greetings.
Just going to sort this out. Okay, and then you can tell them secret. So you actually get a little more experience if you do that. So that's normally the option I go for. Why has Blizzard ended there again? That's weird. That shouldn't be happening. That's a very irritating little bug. Let's just get everything active again. Because that's like the one of the main reasons to use delayed recovery is to have Blizzard active. So I need it to be, you know, staying active the whole time. That could be a problem. Right, so let's clear out some of these other ones. Merry Widow's an easy one. Lady of the Wood is not. So it's not actually that far, so I'll just ride that way actually. I know, because I've got delayed recovery active, so I want to stop that potion toxicity from declining if I can. Use up a few less potions that way. Not that it really matters when you have hundreds and hundreds of alcohol, but yeah. We're just going to finish this off. I do quite like the contracts a lot of the time because, you know, they've got like some interesting little stories. Some of them are a bit run and fetchy, but some of them are pretty good. And the fights with the actual monsters are normally pretty cool. Okay, so just gonna sort this bit out.
Let's talk about my.
Not that the reward matters too much, but might as well have it as not.
See it.
Get the vast majority of your income from other means. Why does Blizzard keep not working? That's really bizarre. Right. Seriously, why is Blizzard not working? I want to keep an eye on this because it's one of the absolute best potions to use, and it was working absolutely fine. So I'll take those off. Don't have any toxicity to clear with the white honey. I've meditated already. Put them back on. Right, this bears monitoring because I may have to reload if this is a problem, because Blizzard is my favourite thing about this build. And is one of the absolute main things, like I said, main reasons to use it, so. Right, so there, Blizzard is active. Let's keep an eye on it. These are all going to be necrophages. Oh no, dogs, fair enough. Okay. Stop these things dead for a bit, then get up Quent. And then Piercing Cold to finish everything off. Extremely potent as always.
Dug up the graves. Then the stench of decay attracted wild dogs. But neither.
Yeah, it's when you come back here and there's the fake Witcher that the that's when you have the ghouls roaming around. I remember now. Seriously, why is Blizzard not working on this? But Swallow's working fine, which is really odd. Right, I'm just going to reload and see if I'm having the same problem again. Sometimes you get strange things like this. I hope I don't have to reload the whole save back to where Siri was.
Some peasants found her and took her to the Baron, Felon Suffolk.
Very strange.
The warlord took the young woman in, had her nursed back to health, then sent her on her way to Novigrad.
May have to look back at some of the previous episodes. I'm 99% certain that delayed recovery's been working fine with Blizzard and Swallow, though, from what I remember. Oh, very strange. But yeah, a bit of an odd one. We'll see anyway. It has definitely been working previously. I'm just checking out on episode 2 and things like that, and Blizzard's remained active. So it might be that weird thing where the toxicity stayed high for no reason. Even though I had already got rid of everything else. Which would be very strange. And very, very annoying if that's what's happened. But we shall see. Sometimes reloading sorts this kind of stuff, like when you can't summon roach and things like that. So I'll have to have a look. I wonder if there's a way to actually fix it then, if other than going back to an older save. Right, so here I've got everything active again. And just see what happens to Blizzard when the toxicities remained high. So there, we've still got everything active. Let's see what happens when Blizzard runs down. Just want to see what happens with this, because like I say, Superior Blizzard is a really big part of this and is one of the most fun things about the build. I want to make sure that stays active with delayed recovery. Yeah, and that reloading seems to have taken care of it. So you do have some very odd bugs in this game sometimes, so that's something I'll have to watch out for. So keeping that at 100%, and now Blizzard is still active, which is as it should be. How weird. Oh well, good job I noticed, really. Alright.
Let's talk about my reward.
What did I get last time about this? Don't really need the money anyway, so haggling over a couple of crowns. That's weird, I must have got pretty much the full amount last time. Nope, Blizzard's gone again, what the hell? It just makes no sense. Why is it just Blizzard? Right, I might have to reload an earlier save and cut this one short. God, that's annoying. Right, just to save having to redo an earlier save, I'll just try this first. Right, so we've still got Piercing Cold active. Redo the build, see if that makes any difference. Probably not, but you never know. Okay. I always forget that I've got the other alternate signs. I think I actually did have those slotted as well, so anyway. All the Aard signs first. Then we had Poison Blades. Getting a bit of extra damage. Acquired Tolerance, obviously. Whoops. Acquired Tolerance. Had Endure Pain in case we needed extra vitality. Ugh! Stop it! Protective Coating. And then we needed a couple of other points to get down to Synergy. And Delayed Recovery. Which one had we dropped then? Maybe I'd dropped Poison Blades actually, I'm not really sure. Definitely had Delayed Recovery. Maybe I had dropped Fired Stream then. And then we add the 2 red skills just to boost a bit of damage. Right, let's see if that's fixed it, and if not, I'll probably have to cut this episode a bit short. Okay. And see if that has fixed delayed recovery. Because it most definitely was working correctly. Let's try that again. Really hate when stuff like this happens, but what can you do? And that's everything almost dead.
Ghouls dug up the graves, and the stench of decay attracted wild dogs. But neither ghouls nor dogs steal kids.
But again, the main thing we're just watching out for here is what happens with Blizzard.
Great.
Alright. Yeah, Blizzard's ended again. Wow, that's frustrating. Okay. What I'll probably have to do is reload an earlier save. So I'll probably just do these 2 contracts first. And then I'll have to reload and replay this section off stream or something like that. See if we can get it to work again properly. Very strange. For now, I'm just going to keep up the toxicity using the other potions, and then I suppose I'll have to have Blizzard as one of these slotted ones.
Place for its lair. Human skulls and a magic.
How bizarre.
Monsters clearly using them, drawing strength from the place of power.
Yeah, 'cause it's working for the other ones because Swallow's remaining active.
Human creature can use tools. A child needs its safety.
Strange.
Or just plain clever. Gotta be a grave hag. Collected the skulls to draw the power through them. Confidence grew enough it started prowling the village. Need to take the skulls. Force it to go back to the cemetery. I'll get it there in the cemetery.
So we're just going to take these skulls here and then carry on.
Dark.
Yeah, that's so bizarre because obviously you can see that delayed recovery is working correctly with everything else. But yeah, really weird. Oh well. Go back over this way. There is a bear down there that you can take out, but there's no point because it doesn't give me anything good anyway, and I don't need to go in that cave for anything particular. It being a grave hag, I'm fairly certain that you have to wait for night anyway, so I'll end up having to meditate anyway.
Skulls he stole. My skulls.
Uh-oh.
Up his own.
There she is.
Time to die. It's alright because we don't actually need we don't actually need what's it called? The see there, get a quick 1,000 and a ton of damage from Aard in there. Sorry, I'm just concentrating on the fight as well at the same time. So we're just going to take this thing down. Keep Aard up. And you can cast signs so regularly, especially with the 2 Aardens, that you don't need any doesn't have any chance to actually do anything, which is like hilarious. And push it over the wall, which apparently kills it outright, so that's kind of fun. That's that one done. Mastercrafted saddle, how heavy and totally pointless, never mind. Sucker for grabbing things off the map as well. I hate having the little reds on the map. The red crosses. Just top up some potions again. Still at 79%. Then we'll fast travel and take out Jenny of the Woods. Jenny of the Woods is one of the most difficult contracts, actually. You have to be very careful with her, which is kind of cool. Alright.
Take care.
So, next one's going to be, yep, Jenny of the Woods, like we said. Just do that as well. And then I'll get on with the Novigrad quests after that. So forgive me another little fast travel. Because obviously those potions would wear off. So I think what I'll probably have to do is just keep this to a relatively short episode. And then I'll have to catch it up off stream. But that'll be fairly easy because I can just skip doing these contracts because I've got the footage here and everything else, and the levels don't really make a difference. So I get the fun of doing these, and then I'll just reload the previous save and carry on with the story quests after that. Okay. Now, like I say, if you're playing on regular playthrough, this is as an earlier quest. This one can be extremely difficult, so you need to be careful with Jenny of the Woods. You need to know what you're doing, and it's a good one to do. It can get you a pretty reasonable reward as well. Right, so we'll have all this stuff. Go through that. Few people to talk to first. I'll just end up meditating, so it doesn't really matter about that. Where's this person? Oh, there she is.
What did she? What did you? Nice.
Okay. We've got to search this place now. So bizarre about that blizzard thing, though. You can see there it's working for like literally all the other potions. I don't know why it's just blizzard. Especially since how it's like the best one. And one of the main reasons to actually use delayed recovery, but yeah, weird.
Possibly from a dress. Got snagged on the undergrowth. Stride indicates she was running. Probably why she tore her dress. Somebody chase her.
Alright, so we just find all this stuff. Right, where are we going?
Couldn't outrun her pursuer.
Uh-oh.
Stabbed her or slit her throat. Strange. Left the knife behind. Dried blood on it. Could come in handy. Dragged the body through here. Clear trail. Lugged the body all the way to the woods. Buried it here. Shallow grave. Murderer must have been pressed for time. Something sticking out. A letter.
Bandit camp as well. Might as well take these out while we're here.
The lover killed the woman, seems to me. A night wraith. Alderman probably knew the girl. I had to ask him.
So much damage and output you can do with this build. Without even ever being in danger as well is the fun thing. Like, especially with the being able to cast 2 Aards. You can see there I just took out 2 of them with instant damage like that. And even the guys that you can't knock over, you can still do an absolute ton of damage to. Like, you can't often knock down the leaders whilst they're holding an axe and things like that. But you can very, very easily burn them to death. And actually make them bleed as well. So yeah, we'll take these guys out, why not? Right, and Blizzard has mysteriously decided that it's working now. That makes no sense whatsoever. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but why? What the heck? This makes no sense. Right, I don't quite know why Blizzard had stopped working there. Maybe it's I'm tired, maybe it's late, maybe I'm missing something obvious, but I just don't get why that is the case. So now you can see that Blizzard has run out as well. But it's fine. How strange. Which is exactly as delayed recovery should work. No idea what happened there. Never mind. Well, might as well carry on then if Blizzard's working alright. Some things even I can't figure out. And I would have told you I know everything about toxicity mechanics. I pretty much do know everything about toxicity mechanics. Just a very, very odd little interaction there. Hopefully it still works properly when I meditate, as I'll have to for this particular section. So here we've just got to find out who Jenny of the Woods is. And unfortunately it's Zula, and then we'll go and take him out. I'll take her out and put her to rest.
Gotta drive the wraith away. Stand a chance if I can bind it to one spot for a while.
Okay, and now it's ended again. Seriously, this makes no sense. Very weird. Can't quite figure that out, gotta be honest. Anyway, should have enough potions left to take this thing out. Even though I'm a little low on them now. Keep them topped up. Get a magic trap down. Makes this a bit easier. And then we'll mostly be going with those kind of strikes. And this is the thing that a science build's not really as good for, is these things. But it's very good for the actual slowdown still. And Aard is extremely good for taking these things out. Because if they get close enough, then they will try and get all of your health back for the actual ghost itself. But they can't do that if you are hitting them with Aard before they get close. So use a load of heavy strikes there. Got the spectral for extra damage. And just enough slowdown off from that thing as well. I mean, if it's doing a ton of damage like that, then I can always just get Quen back up. Yeah, punch the ghost, Geralt. Anyway. So that's not an issue. And you do get that little bit of slowdown. And then again, just be able to... So yeah, that's all good. Are there enemies back at that... enemies back at the... Oh yeah, where did these guys come from? Or is this another one? Oh, let's kill these guys. Let's kill these guys and then find out what they want. Take him out. Get these guys burning. Somehow managed to hit that dude from all the way over there. And then take him out like that. Easy. No idea what this was in aid of, but... Sulfur and pure silver. What an absolute waste of time. Never mind. Bad guys must be dealt with. Well, usually. Okie dokie. Yeah, Blizzard's doing some weird things in this playthrough. You can see there, again, it's active, but then... And then it's sort of not. How bizarre. Anyway. So that's that all sorted. See if I can figure this Blizzard thing out. I do not know why that is the case. Definitely got 3 points in delayed recovery. Yeah. Anyway, due to that strange little anomaly, I'm just going to pick up the reward for Jenny of the Woods, and then I'm going to cut that short, just so I can try and figure that out. Maybe off stream, maybe see what's going on. So, slightly shorter one. but we have got rid of Jenny of the Woods, so that's all done. And what I'm just going to do is have a quick break, cut that one short, and again, Blizzard's run out for no apparent reason, so just need to reload and figure out why that was. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you are watching back on YouTube, then please like, comment, subscribe. If you enjoy the content and want to see more of the playthrough and the other content that I do, I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a good day on the path.